I'm doing really good. I appreciate you asking. I feel like every time I talk to you, I just start off with my first question. How are you doing? How are you just doing in general, man?
I'm good, man. I'm really good. Riding the wave of the success of Spider-Man and really proud of what everyone achieved there. And also, rearing to go, really excited for Uncharted to come out.
Yeah, man. Listen, I one of the things I love about this film is how important that ring necklace is to the character. It is such a massive part of the story. Every time you see it, there's an emotional moment that you have as an audience because you know what it means to your character and his brother. So I wanted to ask you for in your life, do you have something like that you keep with you at all times that reminds you of your brothers or your family or something that you keep with you that's important to you like that?
Yeah, there's a few things that I have in my life that have a huge sentimental value. One of which is a signet ring that I was given by my grandparents, but unfortunately, 2 days ago, I lost it. I don't know
Oh,
where it is. It has never fallen off my hand before. I've only ever taken it off and put it down, and I just looked down and it was gone. So
oh.
I am on the hunt for that and hoping that I find it. So that would be my thing, and it's funny that it's a ring as well. But yeah, so hopefully I'll find it.
Well, I hope you find it too, because I know how important that could be to you. And what
Yeah,
some of the action scenes in this film are brilliant. The opening shot with the ring floating
yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
falling down is so cool. I've seen some of the behind the scenes footage, but can you talk about that car hitting you and then the idea of what it looked like when you were flipping from each cargo carton? Because it was so freaking insane, and the wheel was almost like a oneer at one point. What did that look
Yeah.
like for you on set when you got hit by that car and flew back?
So it was interesting. So myself and the car were attached to the same rig. I had points lifting me up, and I had points pulling me back, and I also think I had points stabilizing me sideways. I
Oh,
think I did. And essentially when the car would come forwards, I had to kind of look up, the car would come forwards, and it was just like the front of the car. It was like a bonnet of a car. And then it would crash into me. I would sort of bounce off the bonnet. But the hardest thing is Ruben really wanted me to try and stay horizontal as I left the aeroplane before I went into my sort of spin.
yeah.
So it's really difficult to get hit by it because when you get hit by it, the natural instinct is to fall backwards this way. But he wanted me to get hit and then slide off that way. So it took a long time to get right. And it just so happened that that was the day that my mum came to watch. And normally with my career, like whenever my mum comes, is the day where they don't really need me. And she's always like, I don't understand why you're always like tired. Like you don't really do anything. You're just hanging out in your trailer all day. So it was nice for her to come to set to see an actual stunt. It was cool. I really enjoyed it. And it's one of the most impressive stunts in the movie.
Tom, I've been very vocal my entire career about the importance of how every genre of filmmaking should be appreciated when it comes to Oscars and award shows. I think comedy is underrated, action, horror, but superhero films like Spider-Man No Way Home is a masterpiece. It is a filmmaking incredible on every single level, the writing, the direction, the cinematography, your performance in that Aunt May scene. That film deserves a Best Picture nomination, no
Thank you.
question, and so do you for Best Actor. Can you talk about that idea of like why we have such a hard time recognizing a film like a superhero movie? I know Black Panther got nominated, but I think your film deserves a Best Picture nomination.
Well, thank you, Kevin. I really appreciate that, mate. And I'm sure everyone at Marvel and Sony, especially John Watts, would love to hear that. We're all incredibly proud of the film. It would obviously be a huge honor if it was nominated for an Oscar, but I think that's not how we like to validate ourselves. We like to validate ourselves with the love we receive from the general public, and so far that has been through the roof.
Yeah.
So for me, with this film and this character, I've already achieved everything I would like to. You see these fan reactions of people seeing Andrew come through that portal, and I've never seen anything like that at the theater before. I've
Yeah.
never seen that kind of audience reaction, and to be a part of that was so emotional. Like I can't watch those videos without getting really, really emotional. Like at the premiere, I was in floods of tears at the end of that movie, and it was a combination of how proud I am of the movie, how great the movie was, how emotional I was about the kind of end of this chapter, and what we'd all achieved. So whether it is an Oscar movie or not, it sort of has no bearing on me. It'd be amazing if it is, but if it's not, I'm so proud of what John Watts has achieved.
I would love that. Last thing for you, favorite memory of all three of you in a suit together at the same time. The first one that comes to mind, because dude, when Andrew and Tobey cracked each other's backs, I was like, this is so freaking awesome.
The scene on the rooftop where I meet them for the first time was obviously an incredibly emotional scene, and a scene with really complicated blocking. You know, so normally you hope when you shoot an emotional scene that it's very simple, so you don't have to do many camera angles, but that scene required multiple crane shots and canted shots and all sorts of different things, and it was exhausting. And I remember halfway through we were shooting my close-up and I was really emotional, and I went up to Tobey and Andrew and I gave them a hug, and I just sort of said, guys, thank you so much for doing this and being here. Like, this will forever be a highlight of my career. And we just had this really amazing moment between the three of us where it was almost like, we are Spider-Man. We are the only people who have ever done this. And to do this together now, like, we were all crying and hugging each other, and it was just a really amazing moment. And for me, as the kind of young one, the young Spider-Man, it was kind of nice to have these big brothers there looking after me. So it was a very special moment.
Well, they're wrapping me, Tom. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. You are one of the nicest guys I've ever talked to in this business, and I just appreciate you being such a fan, man. I always love talking to you, brother.
Thanks, Kev. Speak to you later, matey. See you next time.